Hello and welcome to the first episode of The Heart. My name is Nicole Chaput and I am a physical therapist at Houghton Physical Therapy in Attleboro, Massachusetts. The Houghton Heart logo represents how much we care about you. You, our listeners, our community, our patients, our staff, and all of our other friends. At Houghton, we believe that a healthy mind plus a healthy body equals a happy heart. So I wanted to create a space in which we could share positive and inspiring stories, where we could share tips from experts on how to achieve a healthy body and a healthy mind, and where we could share incredible stories about what people are doing today to stay happy and healthy. There's no one who understands this mission better than Mr. Todd Houghton himself. He's the CEO of Houghton Physical Therapy. He's a physical therapist. He's a certified strength and conditioning specialist. He's a certified neuro-linguistic programming practitioner. He's a Reiki master and a life coach. He inspires me every day as a leader, as a healer, and as a friend. So stay tuned for my very first interview. Hi, Todd. How are you?
Hey, Nicole. I'm doing great. How are you today?
I'm great. Thank you. Welcome to the first episode of The Heart. Thank you for joining us. I haven't get to see you in the office every day. How have you been keeping busy?
I've been keeping busy doing the virtual PT visits, which has been awesome. A lot of the insurances are now coming around and helping us to help more people, which has been fun. So I've been doing that a few days a week, and I started going into the office because there were some other patients, surgical patients, and that some insurances that wouldn't accept the payment that way or to be seen. So I went into the office to see a few people, and yeah, so I've been keeping busy, helping people, just like you.
That's awesome. Yeah, the virtual visits have been going great. It's been a wonderful addition during this time to our practice and being able to get out there and help people in the best way we can. So
Yeah,
today's topic for The Heart is healthy mind, and I know you've been fascinated with the mind-body connection for your whole life. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, sure, Nicole. That's a great question. And again, thanks for having me on today. I was looking forward to this so much. When I was at a young age, I always kind of wondered why some days I was feeling really great, like the sun's shining, everything's going great, everything I touch turns to gold. And then some days I would wake up the next day and wonder, why did I feel like everything I touched turned to something that's not gold? And I started to really get curious, why? And is it just me? Was this just me? So I started to get curious, and the more that I looked into it, I got more into psychology and the study of people and then the study of communication. And then fast forward to now, I've really got into a lot more personal development to try and answer some of those questions. And what I've really found is that it's really our own destiny to kind of show up however we want to show up every day. And it's really up to us to take that under our control, because there are lots of things in our life, face it, like COVID-19, the things we're in right now, that we have no control over.
Right.
But I found out through a lot of the research and practicing over the last 10 to 15 years that we are in control of ourselves and our own thoughts. And that has a really big impact on how we show up, whether like we can show up in a disempowering mindset, which is maybe more negative. Those conversations don't usually go well, not too successful. And kind of trained and worked on finding many ways and many tools to show up with an empowering mindset that's really helpful with making the day-to-day decisions with, in the office or with my family, or just in my personal life too as well.
That's amazing. So during this time when we're social distancing and staying at home, can you tell us what your number one tip is in order to stay in that empowering mindset?
Absolutely. I'd love to share that. One of the things that I really enjoy doing, and I do this, I'm a very literal person, so I'm going to say I'd love to do it every day, but it's roughly 5 to 6 to 7 days a week. And I do a thing called priming. And I've attended a lot of Tony Robbins. I've attended all of his seminars. And one of the things that he talks about is it's up to us to make sure that we're in the right headspace. We show up in the right state every single day. So I've been doing priming. And priming could kind of be like, if we think of it, we'll say like I was out this past weekend doing some yard work. And when I went to start the leaf blower, you know, the leaf blower has like a little bulb on it. You push the bulb to get the gas to the carburetor. I'm not a very mechanical guy, but I think that's what it's called. You push the bubble, and I see it fill up, and I know the gas is now pulled to the engine, and you give it a start, and it works. If we didn't prime that pump, though, we could pull all day, in the definition of insanity, doing the same thing every day without getting the result that you want.
Do you know I had that experience with my snowblower? The primer wasn't working and the engine did not start. I had to get some help with that. So I've experienced that very thing.
It's funny how that happens, right? And little things like that, when you're out in the middle of a snowstorm going, the priming button doesn't work, right? So obviously I'm sure you got it fixed, but yeah, so that's kind of what I do, is we want to learn how to, because again, we're in control of our own thoughts, and we're in control of how we show up every day, no matter what the situation is. And when we can actually learn some methods of how to prime ourselves to put us in that right empowering state all the time, that's been really helpful. Because face it, you know, with the COVID-19, with, you know, families and social distancing, you know, we're not getting the heart connection that we really want with people. We're not getting the love connection with people that, you know, that we've been wanting. So we need to find ways to get ourselves just in that better mindset.
So can you tell us a little bit more about what priming is?
But for my priming, I like to do it, and this is what kind of my coach and what Tony suggests too, is that I do it first thing in the morning. I know it's easy for everyone to get up, you check your phone, you check Facebook, you check LinkedIn, you might do all those things, and then we get our mind going. Maybe not in the best way. So with my priming, I start it every morning, right when I wake up. I tend to get up early. And for myself, I listen to a Tony Robbins video, which I shared with you. It's a YouTube video, and it takes you through a few different things. So the first thing that it talks about Tony talks about is breathing. So we want to change our physiology. And so when he starts off the priming video, when we change our physiology, it allows us to focus. We get the blood flowing. It allows us to focus on what we want, focus on where we want to go, focus on our goals for the future. In life and tendency, the survival, we have a brain wired for survival. We tend to focus on what we don't have, what we didn't get, what we might not get anymore. So when we change our physiology by moving, whether it's breath work or working out, it allows us to focus on something different. Then it also allows us to give that thought a different meaning. And we can go over that as well. So how he starts off the video is he starts off with breathing in through your nose, out through your nose, and he does it about 3 sets to 30, about 90 times. And he actually has you reach up, grab the energy, pull it down. Because again, as much as we can, we want to be around good energy. We want to be around people that have good energy, because then we can feed off each other. It allows us to stay in that good thought process. So we reach up and down. We do that about 90 times. I like to do it walking, because I feel it just gets my body moving a little bit better. Mm-hmm. After we do the breathing, then what we work on after that is try and think of 3 things that you're grateful for. And again, everything comes from the heart. We can be the most authentic. We can be the most giving. We can show up with the most grace, even in those times of craziness, if we're feeling and thinking from the heart. So 3 things that we're grateful for. It could be little things, it could be big things. It could be the fact that I have all my hands. I'm a physical therapist. I have all my hands and all my feet. I'm so grateful for that every day. Mm-hmm. And to big things that I was thankful for, breaking my leg when I was 15, which led me onto the field of physical therapy and led me to this awesome conversation with you. Mm-hmm. So with things from the heart.
There was something you mentioned the other day when we were talking about this, and just being grateful that our heart beats. It's not something that we have to tell it to beat every single day. It's just there, and to be grateful for that in and of itself.
Well, thank you. That's a huge one. Being grateful for the really simple things in life. And you're right. Our heart just beats all the time. We don't have to pay any attention to it. Mm-hmm. Then the next thing that I do is we talk about healing, like things in our body that we can heal. What things in our body that we might want to focus on that you maybe not feeling so good. It could be a mindset thing. It could be a physical thing. It could be a spiritual thing. Healing it. And one of the things is we want to picture these things as being done. We don't want to say, I wish that I would feel my back would hurt. No, I'm picturing my back is better and I picture it as being done. So then after all the healing, we picture that we're healing our body, white light coming through our body, healing our body.
I think that's a really important concept, especially right now, people who may be sick or just picturing, there being a vaccine and COVID being over and finally getting to embrace our friends and family again. I think picturing being healed and this being done is a really positive thing to go through right now.
It's a great point, and it goes along with we want to picture where we're going, not where we don't want to go. We want to picture where we're going. So no, that's a great way to bring that back in again with all the questions and uncertainty that we have. When we can picture it being done and picture us being with our family, picture our family members being healed, picture everybody being healed, that it's going to happen, and that's going to help us again focus on where we want to go. It's a great thought, Nicole. Then we want to picture all the things in our life that we might need to solve. It could be in our personal life, our business life, our spiritual life, our family life, things that we want to picture solved, like things that maybe were kind of nagging at you that you haven't found a solution for. Picture them actually being solved. Picture you crossing the finish line. Picture you signing a new mortgage. Picture you buying a new car. Picture you anything that you've been struggling of how to get there. Picture that being solved.
Mm-hmm.
Then we want to strengthen all the things that we know good about us. Whether you're compassionate, you're authentic, you're smart, you're intelligent. Even though you might not feel that way sometimes, we all know that all the answers are within us all the time. So strengthen those thoughts that we have. Again, picture them being done. Picture you finishing that course. Picture you, picture how you can be compassionate towards someone that you may not feel that may not feel the best about. Again, picture it being done.
Right.
Then we want to, after all that healing, the solving, the strengthening, then we want to serve. We want to strengthening, then we want to serve, meaning that we want to take all this goodness, all the positivity, all the good mindset work that we've just done, and we want to send it off to people that we care about. These can be people in our life that are directly in our personal life, our friends, our family, our direct family. We can also send it to people that maybe we've had maybe a struggle with in the past. Maybe we haven't seen eye to eye with them. Maybe there's been a falling out in our life. Send the good energy to them as well, because they are literally going to feel that. They may know where it's coming from, but again, it feels good for us too. So we heal, we solve, we strengthen. I forgot celebrate. And we want to celebrate all the healing, all the solving, all the strengthening that we're doing. Then we want to send it out to everybody that we know.
Mm-hmm.
And then the last piece of it every day is we want to pick 3 goals. We want to pick 3 goals. They could be for tomorrow, today. We could have an interview coming up. You could have an important meeting. You could have an amazing Zoom call with an amazing colleague of yours. So you want to picture it going well. You want to, again, it could be next week, next year, 5 years, 10 years from now. And I kind of I try and pick one in my personal life, one maybe in my spiritual life, one in my, related to business or finances. You can pick whatever topic you want. And literally, I've been doing this for, 7 to 10 years of doing the priming. I literally pick different goals every day. And again, we're focusing where do we want to go, not on what we want to have, not as opposed to what we don't have. So that's kind of the priming.
You sent me the video this week, and I took your advice and went out for a walk and listened to the Tony Robbins video, which I was very grateful for. And I can tell you, it can be an emotional experience for sure. And it was for me. And I'm out there walking with my mask on, and I'm literally smiling from ear to ear, and nobody can see it because I have my mask on, but the whole entire time I just have a kind of a perma smile on my face, kind of thinking about all of those positive things that are maybe present or past, or visualizing the future. So it was a really kind of emotional, positive experience for me. And I listened to it twice in a row, because sometimes I'm like, oh no, I want to remember more good things, So it was great. So thank you for sharing that with me.
You're very welcome. And how does it feel to be happy? How does it feel to be present?
It's wonderful. Yeah. And like you said, I think it is something that we have to practice every single day and remind ourselves, because it's very easy to fall into those negative, sad mindsets. And so something that will train our bodies and our minds to think differently is super important.
I agree completely. And then picture having conversations, showing up in a different way, in a positive mindset. I mean, people feel your energy. You know, sometimes you walk into a room and someone has such good energy, you want to go like see them or give them a hug, or obviously not social distancing, but in general, you want to go give them a hug or say hi, right? And those are the people that, you know, it's attractive, it's enticing. No, that's good. I'm glad you had that experience. That's awesome.
Absolutely, yes. And we are going to share the Tony Robbins priming video with you in our comments. And we also want to hear from you, your experiences with priming, or if you have any good, healthy mindset tips, please share them in the comments or email us at theheart@houghtonphysicaltherapy.com. Thank you, Todd.
Oh, you're welcome, Nicole. Have a great day.
You too.